everybody, this is Felicia and I am about to do a new video tour. I've updated some things in my scrap room here, so I wanted to give you kind of like a little peek here at what I have. I will try my best to keep the camera as steady as I possibly can, and then we'll just take it from there. So let's get started. Okay, so you're gonna enter my scrap room from a room. I have a room here that is dedicated to my scrap room. So you're going to enter it here. And then how do you enter it is depending on what day it is. It might be sunny and it might be great. I got 2 windows here which provide me a lot of natural light, which I love. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with showing you what's in my scrap room and what I've updated. So I'm gonna go fairly quickly. So if anybody wants to know any details, please let me know. Okay, in general, I'm just gonna try to keep it as smooth as I possibly can. So I hope I don't make anybody dizzy, anybody sick. But I've showed this in the last video. This is not one large expedite, but 2. It's one very, very big one and one small one, and they're really old. Let's see if I can remember. I think this one is, let's see, is it 14 years old? The bottom one, I just repainted it. It took a long time to do. And then the top one is 12 years old. So we have 14 years old at the bottom here and 12. And you can tell by the thickness. You can see the thickness here and the thickness of this one. The new expedites, now called Kallaxes, are not as thick and they didn't line up, and so I ended up giving one away. So that's what I have right there. Then you have all my goodies here. I've changed some things around on my shelving here, as you can remember from the last video, but I did do that. And I have a bunch of stuff here, and I have these little thingies right here. Sorry about my shadow and the lighting here, but there is a lot of sun. I probably have to close those blinds here a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what is not changed and what has changed. Okay, so we got on the top shelf, we have right here on the top shelf, we have some stamps. We have stamps in here and stamps in here. And I do mean a lot of stamps. I'm not gonna go through those because they're very difficult to put the lid back on both boxes, and so I won't be going through those. And then, oh, there's a cord hanging down. Oops, sorry about that. And then there's a basket. That basket right there that you can see right there, that one right there, has old embellishments in it, very old embellishments. I kept them because when my grandkids come over, they like to help me scrapbook, so I just pretty much let them have at it in that basket. And the same goes for that box too. There's a bunch of stuff in there that they can fool with. So then we have our next shelf, which, like I said, I already pointed out the stamps. And those things that you see there with the little handles on it, those are stamp platforms, 2 different sizes. They're Tim Holtz. Now we're going to go to the next shelf, and the next shelf has a bunch of mini albums. It has my One Little Words on it and my Week in the Life albums. I still have not labeled those yet, but I will be before the year is out. And then we have that purple thing you see right there is a sequence holder, and it's got nothing in it but sequence. And then right here we have a basket with some projects in it, and we won't be going through that. Actually, no, that basket has buttons and stuff like that in there, yeah. And then we have the next basket, which has a bunch of stuff in there, like my crocodile and a bunch of other stuff in there. You don't want to go through all that. What I do want to show you is this. I've changed this shelving right here, this middle shelving. So we're going to start from the end here. We have my dies here, and all dies. Every die that I own is here and here. And then I have some that don't fit yet. And then I have some in the box, and they're all labeled, as you can see. I've already showed that before. And then we have mini albums, a bunch of little 6x8 albums on the shelves. And these are all One Little Words and Week in the Lives. that I have done, and I have not labeled all of them yet, but I will. And then here we have all of my die cuts, which are in these little flat envelopes because of space. I don't organize by color. I do organize by manufacturer because of the fact that I was on design teams and stuff like that, and I still might be going on to a couple of them. I'm not sure yet. Okay. So next I have moved this. These are my mini alphas, and there's a ton of them. This whole entire thing has nothing but mini alphas in it. And I have moved this from there where you see those washi tapes, and we'll go there in a minute. From there to here so that I can access them better. So that's what I did with that. And then we have my paper here, all of my cardstock. I have a lot of cardstock. I got a lot of black and white because I go through that a lot. And I have some color cardstock. And then these are all my pattern papers from manufacturers. And now we're going to go down to this shelf. And these are all my paper pads. All pattern paper pads. All right here. Yep. And then right here, we have some more cardstock. And we have some watercolor paper, specialty paper, and some really specialty paper right here in this little white thingy right here that I got from IKEA. I just turned it around backwards so that I can see it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see it. It's like a magazine holder. And it holds 8.5 by 11s. And those are all like quality cardstocks from Tonic Studios when I was when I was getting their kit. This is all for card making. This is card making stuff right here. This right here. This right here. This right here. And this right here. So that's a lot of card making stuff right there. And then if you move over to the next one, I got my page protectors. Here's my 6x6 paper pads. And yes, I have a heck of a lot of them. I am using them. And then here I have my Allie Edwards stuff. She has her own cubel. And this is all of the stuff that I've collected. I have been with the Allie Edwards story stamp since it began, which was in 2014. And then here's my album where I put all of my Allie Edwards stories in it when I use my stamps. And then we have my Allie Edwards stamps. Now the ones that are back in the further back here, these back here, those are not Allie Edwards stamps. Those are a mixture, but all of these are, and all of these are. So we have some back in the back, some right here, and then some right here. Okay, and then let me move this contraption out of the way. We have more 12 by 12 paper pads. We have 8.5 by 11 paper pads. We have chipboard. We have all this kinds of stuff, and an album that I am working on for Project Life for 2019. Now we are moving to the bottom shelf, and I have albums down there that I am working on. And I still have some Smash books, and I have my art book, and I also have a Misty down there. And then what's in this contraption here is just packages of embellishments and stuff from kits that I have broken down. I just put them all in one spot. And I have my jelly plate there, and then my scoreboard. And then right here, I have my large punches. This is how I treat my punches. I know, those things are so big and so heavy and so cumbersome. I just put them all in one spot. And then here is how I treat my smaller punches. It's a little dusty down here. Dang. Oh, I know why. Because it kicks up the dust whenever you vacuum. And it kicks it up down here. So I got a new punch right there. That Heidi Swap one right here. This guy right there. Yeah, I got that. Alrighty. So that is the entire expedite. So we're going to move on to the next thing. Now, what I should have done was I should have introduced you to this guy right here. For those of you who are seeing my video for the first time, This is where I keep all of my wood veneer. I hung this up on the wall. I got this contraption from Michael's. I looked at Michael's and I did not see. I looked at 3 different ones because everybody was asking me where did I get it from. And I did not see them anymore. So, but I did see something similar like this at the Container Store. I just don't know how much it is. I got these when they had the 70% off sale, so I only paid like $10 for each one of them. So that's the wood veneer. And then you can open up, you know, and you can also pull the whole thing out. So you can take it over to your crafting area. It comes out pretty easy. And then that way you can take them over to your crafting area. I always forget how to put it back in, but yeah, there you go. Okay, so the next thing we have here is this is where all my tags are. I had to find a home for these guys because I had so many of them. I decided to find a little home. And it's just one of those little bamboo wooden things here that I got from IKEA. It's like a bath. They come in a set and they're like bathroom holders. And so I just decided to use one of them to house all of my, whatchamacallits here, all of my tags and stuff like that. And there's some hand sanitizer. And then that little thing right there, this guy right here, that guy right there, he's just, whatchamacallit, for like when I'm working with sequins and stuff and I find him on the floor, I just put him in there. So he's just a catch-all bottle. Okay, so now we're going down to my washi tape holder. I only got 2 of these because it's not completely 100% filled, but I only got 2 of them because I didn't want, they're bulky. So, and this one is kind of filled here. That's a lot of washi tape. And this washi tape, I fill them up as much as possible. This one isn't filled as much, but you know, and then I did them by color so that we'll have the color scheme there. So, but that's where I have the majority of my washi tape. And then down here is 3 drawers, and each one of these drawers have overflow of stuff. These are not thickers. These are just other alphas, and it's an overflow, and it goes deep too. So we're not gonna open that because it gets heavy. And then we have a bunch of embellishments. These are the breakdown of my Project Life kits. So it's got all kinds of embellishments in here and stuff and stickers and things like that. I sorted them out so that I can get to them easier when I'm doing my Project Lives, because I'm going to really hit the floor with that. This is extra stuff, my felt and stuff like that. And then extra stuff for Travel's notebooks and Post-its and stuff like that. That's it. That's all that's in that. And so now we're going to move over to this section here. And I know I'm going pretty fast, but I have to because I don't want to make this a 2- and 3-part video. This will probably be almost an hour or so, but we'll see. So, and I get a lot of questions about these right here. And these guys here, I've had them for over a year. It's actually going on 2 years. And because I got them, I think it was December of 2000 and January, I think, of 2019 or December of 2018. I don't remember exactly when, but I know it was during the wintertime when Michael's had that 70% off sale. So that's when I got these guys here, and they all come separate. The base down here with the wheels is separate. So it was all separate pieces. And I got this base down here like I think like a few months later because I found it at another Michael's and I was looking for it, but I ended up finding it at another Michael's. So this is a compartment thingy, and I like this because you can take these out, you know, and you can open them up, and you can kind of interchange these things around, so you don't have to leave them the way they are. This is not how they're sold like this. I just made it like this. It's usually one long one of these and one of these. So I had gotten these, and then my daughter told me that they had the pink ones on sale at another Michael's, and so I went and got the pink ones. So I have 2 sets, and they're 4 each of these. These are empty right now because I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with them, but yeah. So I'm gonna go and go to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing we have is my containers. And I will pull one of these out. I don't know if I pulled them out the last time, but these are all my thickers. These are not meant to hold thickers, but I made it work so, because this is the only way that I could store all my thickers. Now, imagine this. I gave away about a third of this thickers a few years back, and I ended up with more than I had the last time. So I don't know what's going on. So these are my thickers, and when you open this up, and it's backwards actually, so I'm gonna turn it around. So when you open this up, I did the best that I could by sorting them by colors. I mean, these are all the thickers that I own. I can still somewhat get into this one, but not quite. Yeah, so there's old thickers in here, there's new thickers in here, there's all kinds of thickers in here. I'll just put it that way. But this is the way I store them. And then as you can see, this thing is pretty deep. That's the side of it right there. So I don't know if you're getting a good view. So it's pretty long, and the width of it is pretty much the front, just right for the thickers, and they work. It works. It's been working for me for years. I've had my thickers in these things for years. I bought them one at a time as I ran out of space, and so that's pretty much what I did with that. So then there's the other two down there, and they're tight. They're full. I can't even get my hands in those things. And so that's why I had to end up buying this third one here. And I know I should be using my thickers up as fast as I can, but when you belong to a kit club that keeps you 2 packs of thickers every time, and you were on it for years, then yeah, that's what you're going to end up, because you can't use them up fast enough. So now my next section is this whole entire section over here. I haven't really did much to this. Everything that's in those drawers is labeled is what's in it. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will show you this right here, which is all of collections. Now, I used to have kits up there, but it's collections. And then here and here, these 3 right here are my page kits that I've made for myself, so that I can just grab one whenever I get ready to scrap. And then over here is just some extra chipboard that I need to put down in the bottom there. It goes way down there in the drawer, but it's full. So I don't think I'm gonna have enough space. So that's what I have there. Here I have, these are not all Project Life page protectors. What they are is they're just different page protectors from different companies. So I just put them all in one thing. And then I have buttons here and some wood block stamps in here. That's all I have of those. I have a bunch of just loose ephemera over the years and cutouts and stuff like that, and that I saved because I still use this stuff, and I figured out why throw it away. This used to be fuller, but it's gone down some because I've been using them, and I'm glad. So that lets me know I'm doing the right thing. These right here are just informational cards. These are index cards that I just cut in half. These are stamps. Inks. My Ranger inks, little tiny ones there. My foil for my miche. Whoa, yeah, that's right. And that's up on the top of the expedite. I haven't even opened that thing yet. I'm going to have to get going with that. Some extra paints and some small punches, like leaves and reinforce. I like this thing because I use this a lot to decorate and stuff, because you can cut and make like reinforcement holes of your own. We have hearts. We have a washi tape. Oh gosh, this thing is stuck. We have a washi tape cutter, small circles and other stuff, and my very first little tiny punch, which is that red guy right there. My very first punch I ever owned. I know, I'm kind of sentimental like that. I still have it. And then over here, I have some We Are Memory Keepers tag makers, pocket maker, envelope maker, and tab maker back in the back there. Whew. And then this is more paper that I need to, paper that I cleared out from kits. and stuff like that I need to sort. I haven't really sorted them. I just piled them up right there. And because I had this whole section from here down to here was just full of kits. I had like 15 kits that I didn't even touch, and I had to go through them all and just break them up because they just didn't make any sense. Right here is my project thing. I'm making a junk portfolio for my mom. You know, I'm making that for her. Hopefully she doesn't see this video. She doesn't know it's coming. But it's going to be pretty old school, kind of retro. So these are the templates and things like that. And that's what I'm making for her. And these right here, this is not actually a tray, but I'm using it for a tray. This is a good idea. This is the lid to this container that I'll show you that I got from IKEA. So I just use that, and then I have smaller ones. So I just use it for trays. I mean, they make it because I don't need the lids to cover up anything. And I just use them for trays, which was a good idea. And they're nice and sturdy. And then right here I have my adhesive. Oh, sorry about that. I have a bunch of adhesives in here for my, whatchamacallit. Yeah, because I like to keep a nice little stock of those things in here. Ooh, go in there. These are the 3D foam adhesives. Put that in there. Yeah. And then here I have just miscellaneous stuff, refills of stuff, blades and stuff like that. And then in here, I have some inks, chalk inks that I still use to edge things with because they're tiny and small and take the crops. And then this is my, I don't know why this is in here. But anyway, so what happened was I had the bottle part, but the other nozzle part, I had to use it because the other one got clogged. And it wouldn't work anymore. Anyway, so I got some miscellaneous stuff in here. And in here, I have alcohol inks and stickles and glitter. There's nothing but glitter. Look at all that glitter right there. And alcohol inks. And then these inks, not alcohol inks, I'm sorry, ink pad inks. I got these when Studio Calico had a sale. And then there's the alcohol inks here. These right here, I got those later on. And then here, like I said, this is just all stickles. And then I got confetti, and more confetti. And then I also have some foiling right there. Some gilding flakes, I think that is. Is that gilding flakes? Yeah, that's gilding flakes. So that's what's in here. I like this little thing, compartment. It's hidden. Alrighty, so that is this section. And then, like I said, I have the ribbon holder right there. This, I forgot what that thing is called. And then this goes to, I forgot what it goes to, but it's just holding some extra stuff in there. Jars of shells, my Copic markers. I don't really own a whole lot of Copic markers because I got disinterested in them due to the fact that they're super expensive and for no reason. Because there's other pens that work just as well. And then we have, this one is filled with paper, like little note cards, and their envelopes are somewhere else. And this is my Amy Tangerine, whatchamacallit's in there. And then I was gifted I forgot which one I was gifted. I think it was the capital letters or the small letters. Anyway, so I was gifted a set of those. And then I have my small Sizzix, and I also have a small prism right there. These are just decorations from Cuba. This is from Cuba. I forgot where that's from and stuff. And then here is my basket of washi tape, and it is a whole lot of washi tape. It is filled to the brim, as you can see, with more washi tape. And I do have more washi tape. I don't keep it in the scrap room because I have a separate room now. So my separate room has my study. That's where I study for my schooling and stuff. And then if I want to decorate my bullet journal, I just keep a nice little fat stack of washi tape there just for the bullet journal. So, all right. So that's that. And then I have this tower here of cubes. Yay. The top 3 cubes are the Recollections ones. Not that great. And I'm sorry, and the middle ones from here down to the floor are all Recollections. I'm not gonna buy those ever again because they're not the greatest quality. This one is by Simply Built, the ones that are here with the wider handles. You can tell by the wideness of the handles, and then this is the Recollections. These, I mean, these are built better. So, and the Recollections ones are off a little bit, so I had to make adjustments with a small little tiny piece of, like, see right there, right in between. That's how much they're off. And that's a lot. It don't look like a lot, but it's a lot, enough to where I had to put a piece of cardboard in to level it out so they would all be level at the top here all the way across. I mean, it's just, wow, man. It's like the things that they do to people. Anyway, so these drawers have a lot of stuff in them. Specialty paper, stencils, and things like that. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff in here, and the only drawer that I really want you to see, because I went over this the last time I did this video, is this drawer right here. This idea, before I open it, I got it from Marcy Tierra. This is Tracy, and you could check out her channel. I'll leave a link to her channel. And then what she did was she took one of her drawers and made it like an embellishment drawer with these little cups and things. Now, I couldn't find exact cups that she had, but I found some in the Target dollar spot, and it came with 4 little ones, 1 medium one, and 1 big one, and it was only $5, and they were perfect. It worked perfect. I couldn't believe how lucky I got on that one. So this is what I did, and this is what Marcy Tierra did, and she made a drawer full of embellishments. It's so pretty. Look at that. I love this idea. This is a great idea. And so when I open up a package of embellishments, and if I don't finish them, I'm just going to dump them in here. And, you know, you got your different ones. You know, I have my vellum here. I have some bigger embellishments here. This is a Apple iPhone box that I just kind of put some decorative paper down at the bottom. But these little cups are what I'm talking about. These little cups came from the Target dollar spot, and they're perfect. They're the perfect width, depth, and everything. And so I got, as you can see, I got a bunch of embellishments in there. Stuff like, you know, big, bulky, the 3D embellishments, you know, a bunch of fabric type of deal things here, and some miscellaneous stuff here. And these are all like acrylic things. Like, look at this. Like this is sunglasses. Look at that. Yeah, so that's what I did. And then those are those flowers, those resin flowers that I occasionally still use. And if I don't use them, I usually let my grandkids use them. Trust me, my stuff never goes to waste. And then I have things for bigger, longer embellishments and things like that right there. But I thought this was the greatest idea. And I think that is just so pretty. And, you know, I really appreciate her with that idea. So it's Tracy, and she goes by Marcy Tierra on YouTube. So I'll leave a link for that. And that's that. So the rest of these drawers I am not going to go through. I mean, they're a mess. I mean, I could show you my specialty paper drawer, which is nothing but doilies. There's a ton of doilies in here. And then this next one is actually specialty paper, as you can see. It's handmade papers. It's papers that have this velvety, what you would call it on it, tissues, papers, all kinds of papers are in here. So that's my specialty drawer paper. And the rest of this stuff, I can show you the stencils one. This is nothing but stencils in here, which is perfect because I need the drawer for stencils. They were getting out of control. And then I got, like, I used to do pocket letters. I don't do them anymore. They were very, very time consuming. And as you can see, I don't do those anymore. But I keep my bead jewelry making stuff in one of them. And then in this one, I have just a bunch of junk, loose stuff. So, and then down the bottom, I have vellum. I have stickers. I have chipboard. And this drawer right here is just a drawer with all my words. So this is words drawer. Look at all these words drawer. Look at all this stuff. Sentences and words. Sentences and words. That's pretty much it that's in here. That's a lot. Okay, so we're done with that tower. Quick. Now we're going to move a little bit more quicker here. So this is my embellishment thingy. This is when I was getting the tonic craft kits. And this is all the stuff that came in there. And then I have some pens, markers, and things. This is all the stuff that came in those tonic craft kits over the time. I was in there for over a year, so I was able to accumulate all of that stuff. But I like this little thing, and I moved this over from out of the light so nothing would dry out. So that's that. Okay, guys, so now we have another tower here. Whew. And this one is filled with acrylic blocks, miscellaneous stuff like my fountain pens, all my fountain pens, my calligraphy set and everything. Tim Holtz stuff, and those, you know, those little borders, those papers right there. Piercing mats. What you call that stuff? Wax paper. Boy, I tell you. And then these are mini albums, pre-made mini albums. And this is a holy hot mess because I just went in it yesterday. But these are your large and unusual alphas. These alphas right here. These are old as dirt. And then I got a bunch of other alphas in here. Some of these are pretty old, but they've been here. And then a lot of these things like came from like Studio Calico and Ali Edwards stuff. So right there, put those in there. I had to have a separate drawer for those because there was no, they didn't have they have a weird packaging thing there. And then we have mediums here, bunch of mediums here, palettes and things, cheesecloth, the paste. And then in this drawer we have all of my paints. The majority of my paints are here. And then in this drawer right here we have some of the older Memory Keeper stuff, cutters, Creative Memories cutters, tiny little traveling scoreboard, and then a full-size envelope maker right here, and then a maker here, and then this little Chonic Studios guillotine punch. Yeah. Okay, so that is that tower right there. Look at that. So now we're gonna move over to this little colorful thing. And I've done some work here. This is how I used to do my Ali Edwards. This took so much time to do. I'm not going to do that again. Plus, I broke down the kits, and I didn't think that was a good idea. Now that in retrospect, I look at it now, I'm like, maybe I should have did that. But anyway, so that's how I used to do my Ali Edwards kits. And these little bamboo things here, I used to store them in that. I mean, not used to. I am storing them in there. And I got these from IKEA. That's what I meant to say. And in here I used to have my Project Life kits, but I put my smaller iPads, the ones that are shaped differently. These are in here now. I have a bunch of pads in here. And then I have these little strange distressed ones. And I still have this cork one here. And I still have the burlap ones, the different color burlap ones. And then the one that I took out is the corrugated neutral stack. That's pretty cool. Okay, so in the next drawer, I used to keep a bunch of Ali Edwards kits in here, and I broke them all down. And I'll show you where those are later. And then here I still have, from when I was on the Spiegelmom's design team, I still have this in here. And I use these sequences all the time. I mean, this was the greatest thing ever to go through these and use this. I loved working with Jody. Jody was great, by the way. And all the girls there that was on the same team, we all worked together there. So, and I'm hopefully she'll have another design team call, and then I'll go back. But right now, school is just taking all of my time, and that's why I'm trying to debate on whether I want to do design teams or not. So anyway, we're gonna close that. Won't close. And here I got a bunch of trim. Ooh. And here I have my place for my Big Shot. And here tissue paper. Oh. And in here I have my quilling kit. I have 2 of these. My mom gave me one because she didn't want hers anymore, so she gave me hers. So I ended up with 2 quilling kits. And then down here I have photos. All right, so that is that tower, and so we're done with that.